Hello and welcome to CAT125R. In this introduction, I want to start with the basics. What is a CAT125 course? In the CAT writing program, the goal of a typical CAT125 course is to give lessons about public communication, rhetoric, and personal storytelling. This provides students with valuable skills and practical experience as they move from their undergraduate work into a job or into graduate school. Hence, the underlying purpose of the course is professionalization. But beyond the basic lessons that are given in every CAT 125 course, each version of the course is guided by a unique theme. And that theme determines the material that we read and view, and it gives a special spin to the class. The theme for our course is the politics of voice. So, as a concept, the idea of voice is basically shorthand for individual self-expression. Voice is a sound that moves from your body and it represents you as an individual. It is the conveyor of your own personal meaning and your identity and your own point of view. The voice is also the key to communication, insofar as you use it to convey meaning and information to others. We will use the theme of voice and the politics of voice to study public communication, rhetoric, and personal storytelling, and also a range of other related topics. Here's a snapshot of the arc of the course and how it is all organized. In the first half of the course, the material that we read, watch, and listen to will discuss how our stories are shaped by historical, social, and professional contexts. Through these readings, we will look at the political stakes of personal storytelling in public life, and we will look at what it means to have a voice and use it. We will also explore how these issues are taken up in critical theory and also in the arts. This will give you a well-rounded understanding of personal storytelling, its politics, and its ethics. In the second half of the course, we will shift gears and consider our professional voices. We will take a critical look at the politics of careerism, and we will discuss how to navigate institutional life. And we will engage with readings that look at life planning, work-life balance, and self-care. In terms of assignments, the first major assignment in this course will give you an opportunity to write a statement that you can use for a college application or a job application. The second major assignment will give you practical experience doing research and public speaking. And the final assignment will give you a chance to create a professional web page that you can upload to the web in such a way that it is a public-facing document. And throughout the course, you will write a series of reflective journals where you will think through strategies behind your life plans and how you might achieve your goals. Although there are a lot of topics that we need to take up, remember that the central thread that holds everything together is the relationship between the politics of voice and personal storytelling. This key principle applies to everything we will learn and do in the next 5 weeks. So, to the practical things that you need to keep in mind as we get through each week. Remember that because this is a summer course, it's a 5-week schedule instead of a 10-week schedule, so that means we need to go double time. This means there's a lot to cover each week and in order to get the credits that are allotted to a CAT 125 course. It would be impossible to do exactly the same amount of work in a 10-week course, so it's dialed back a little bit to fit the summer schedule, but nevertheless, it's a hectic pace. So things to keep in mind, each week will include lectures from myself, a lecture quiz, assorted reading and viewing material, discussion sections, a discussion board, and a mix of smaller and larger assignments. So my lectures will be asynchronous. They will be posted on Canvas at the beginning of each week. And because they are asynchronous, that means you don't need to worry about attending a live lecture at a specific time. So instead, you will access those lecture recordings on Canvas, and you should watch those on your own time, but also you should watch those at the beginning of the week as soon as you can, because the things that I will be discussing in lecture will pertain to the readings, and what you are doing in section. Related to the lectures are a series of lecture quizzes. There will be one each week. This is just kind of a routine to make sure that everybody watches the lecture. It's a normal part of an online course. In addition, there's also course material that includes a variety of readings, viewings, and some podcasts. You will need to stay on top of this course material to keep up with the fast pace of the course. And again, you should try to get started on this at the beginning of the week and complete it by the middle of the week in order to be prepared for discussion section. So following the course material, there is, of course, the 2 discussion sections that will be held synchronously each week on Mondays and Wednesdays. So because they are synchronous, that means you need to actually be there. And remember that discussion section are rooted in the readings, and you need to have the readings done in order to be prepared for each class. Otherwise, you will not be able to participate or fully understand the conversation taking place around you. If students are not prepared, the discussion tends to stall and everyone loses the benefit of having that quality discussion time. Note, in section, discussion of readings and also the writing lessons that will be given in section from time to time by your TAs, they are all tied together. And so you need to understand all of this comprehensively in order to meet the expectations of each assignment. This is why discussion sections are so important for succeeding in the course. And this is also why section attendance is especially important. With a 5-week course schedule, each of the sections will move through a number of important issues each day. And it's easy to fall behind if you miss a day. Moving on, there is a discussion board each week. At the beginning of the week, you will be given a prompt, and then the prompt will be related to the readings or the viewings. And you'll need to respond to that prompt to start a thread. You need to have 2 additional responses, which are comments to other students. So what happens is, over the arc of the week, a conversation builds that is the discussion board. The TAs will be joining you in that discussion board from time to time, making comments here and there. And at the end of the week, you will need to have a total of 3 responses, and the deadline is Friday. For more instructions on how to do the discussion board, more point-by-point instructions, please see the Canvas module that has those instructions. With each of these elements in mind, remember that if you're proactive with things, everything will go smoothly for you, and this will be to your advantage in terms of passing the course. Note that I have set a pattern for the deadlines. The pattern is Tuesdays and Fridays at midnight. So if you keep an eye on the course calendar, the things that are due will be due on Tuesday night and Friday night. So this simple pattern keeps it easy to keep track of and helps everything run smoothly. I would like to now shift gears to talk about higher education and the values that we learn alongside it. First, we need to cover some basic ground rules for the class. Please be respectful to your peers and TAs. There is 0 tolerance of hate speech. And please exercise academic integrity. All of these things should go without saying, but sometimes issues arise, so it needs to be mentioned. Any violation of these rules will be taken very seriously and can lead to suspension or expulsion. For more information, please look to the syllabus and look at the course policies titled Class Citizenship and Academic Integrity. Moving beyond the basics of academic ethics, higher education is also a place to cultivate social values and exercise critical consciousness. One issue that we want to keep in mind is intersectionality. Intersectionality refers to the interconnected nature of people's social and political identities. This is understood along the lines of race and ethnicity, class, culture, gender, sexuality, and ability. The concept of intersectionality allows us to see the complex social fabric of structural inequality and also of structural privilege in society. It also allows us to see how we all exist in these power structures together in relationship to one another. Related to the idea of intersectionality is positionality. This refers to one's position in the structure of society. This position can influence or bias one's understanding of and one's outlook on the world, especially if that position is one of privilege. Altogether, we have a certain ethical responsibility to critically reflect on these structures and our place within them. A second thing to keep in mind is that the university is a public space. Recognizing this allows us to see two things. On one hand, by seeing the university as a public space, we can recognize how the institution is rooted in broader society, and we can see that it shares many of society's problems, including structural racism, classism, and gender discrimination. On the other hand, by seeing the university as a public space, we can also recognize the social purpose of higher education. For obvious reasons, most of us decide to go to college for individualistic reasons. That is, to get a degree, to get a job, to get ahead in life. But there is also a grander ideal that higher education is meant to serve the public good. Thus, if you all leave here having gained critical thinking skills, communication skills, and a well-rounded knowledge about the world, it makes the world a better place, and society at large has something of an investment in your education. All of this is to say that there are real stakes to higher learning, and a certain social responsibility that goes along with it. And the things we learn are not abstract, they have real consequence. So, wrapping things up, be sure to read the syllabus in full as soon as you can. Sometimes it seems like you can skip over parts of the syllabus because we've seen it all before, but there's always details that are unique to each class, and you need to go through the syllabus closely in order to be properly informed. The attendance policy and the late assignment policies are especially unique to this course. You should also review the grading rubric that is posted on Canvas. You need to look at this so you're clear about the grading criteria before you start submitting work, and there's no mystery about how your writing will be evaluated. Students requesting accommodation for this course due to a disability should, if needed, fill out the appropriate forms and send them to me as soon as you can. For more information, please contact the Office for Students with Disabilities. And with this course overview, best of luck with the class, and I hope that the next few weeks are at once challenging for you in a good way, and also fun and rewarding. If you have any questions, feel free to email me directly. My email address is in the syllabus, and my office hours are Tuesdays from 2 to 4 p.m., and I'd be happy for you to drop in. So finally, before leaving, after this lecture, please fill out the pre-course survey that's on Canvas. It is in the Week 1 module, and completion of the survey will be part of your participation score. And I'll see you in the next lecture.